Welcome back to Nocturnal Nerds. It's me, Fred.
Eugene?
And this is Mike. I'm always saying it one time.
Dang it, you and that one time. All right. Well, tonight we're gonna actually do a review on Power Rangers. It came out last week, and so far it's been actually a hit. It's made over 40 million for box office just for the weekend. So right now we're just gonna do our review. We're gonna start off with characters. Then we're gonna hit visuals. Then we're gonna hit story, like the main whole story, and then we're gonna hit how much we were entertained by it. Then lastly, if we have enough time, we're gonna talk about Tommy and how the secret ending, and how they showed a chair where Tommy's supposed to be at. But we're gonna talk about how we would implement Tommy, and would we do a male or a female version? All right, I'm gonna throw it off to Mike first, actually.
I actually really liked the way they did the characters. You know, when I was going into this film, I thought it was going to be like super corny and super cringy, and I was just expecting like to walk out halfway through the movie. As much as I loved Power Rangers as a kid, I can't watch it as an adult. And, you know, I think they did a really good job of taking the characters and making you like them and feel like an emotional connection to them. At least for most of the characters. In the case of, you know, Jason and Kimberly, they were a little bit weaker on their other Rangers, but they still did a fairly good job with all of them. I'll give them 4 for characters.
I feel the same way with Mike here because I feel like it's necessary to get to know the character first before why they're chosen, why are they like this, you know, like because in the original Power Ranger when they first came out, you just met them and then all of a sudden they become Power Rangers, like no backstory to them. And this one is like, okay, Jason, he has a house issue. Kimberly, she has family issue. Billy, he's like weirdo in school. Or Trini, Outcast, Zach has a house issue, so he likes to do wild things. So this way you get to know them individually. Like so you like Mike said, you feel more connected with them. So like when they suit up, like okay,
You actually care that they win.
yeah.
So what would you give it as around 1 through 5?
I say 4.5
Okay.
out of 5.
All right, for me, the characters, I love them. I thought Billy was excellently done. It was kind of funny how you saw him interacting with all the other cast members, and how they actually grew. Like you could tell, Billy was the heart of the team. He like everybody like was able to get along because of Billy. Like you could see the folly with Jason because he wants to be that leader, but at the same time, he kind of you could tell he'd rather be a loner. And then like,
I think sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I don't think it's like you could tell he wanted to be a loner. Like you could see like he wanted to be the leader, but he didn't want the responsibility. Like he didn't want that pressure because he failed, you know, in other aspects of his leadership in his life.
like the only aspect was him getting away. Like I wouldn't say that because like he was he was a star quarterback. He was the leader of the quarterback team. It was just he got caught doing a crime.
Something stupid. But I'm saying like the way he reacted to like having the pressure of leadership and like the way he flipped out, like, oh, I'm gonna let everyone down.
Like that, but I also felt like it was pressure that his family was putting on him at the same time, because you could tell that he loved playing football, but he didn't like how his father was pushing him to play football. He'd rather be his own choice.
Right.
That's why when it push came to shove at toward the end of the film about what happened to Billy, he took to him it was his like he felt it was his responsibility. He screwed up. He took the fall for that, knowing that Billy all he did was wanted to be a hero, and he felt like that it was his responsibility to make it right. That's why I felt like because that's why his disconnect with his like his parents, he like looks like he still has a somewhat good relationship with his mom, but his father and
Was I looking at you during that? I think I was.
yeah. Anyways, also just out of all the characters, I feel like Kimberly was the weakest, just because the way that she got in trouble with her friends, and I felt like you
And you don't meet her parents, unlike all the other.
Yeah,
Rangers.
you actually that's the other thing I like about all the other characters is that you actually got to actually spend time with their families. So you got to see Billy's mother. You find out that his father has already passed away, and so his mom is a single mom raising him. And it's kind of funny how he talks about how if he ever did die, he hopes that his mom was able to remarry and have find somebody new, which I thought was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool how Trini, when she reveals that she's a lesbian, and she can't connect with her family because they're always proper. They're like she actually's gone through 3 other schools before she even got to Angel Grove. Thank you. And so it was kind of cool how they all talked about their problems, but it was like it kind of bugged me that Kimberly, like, she couldn't reveal her problems because even though everybody else had some really messed up problems, but they were willing to reveal their other.
Her problem was she was. Oh, I can't say this word right now. She was a jerk.
Yeah, she was a jerk. That to one of her friends.
She,
That's why. And I was like, really? You couldn't reveal that to them? They would have been very understanding. They would have been like, well, it was one of your friends. All right, then. Since we've already talked about characters,
What did you didn't give your number?
okay, that's true. I would give it a 4.5. Visual and effects. How we're gonna rank them? For me, the visuals were actually pretty good, but I still had some gripes with it because at times you could tell the CGI wasn't working. It came in and out from time to time. You were kind of hoping that they would make everything look a little bit more crisp, a little bit more solid, because since this is the reboot, this is the starting point for the Power Rangers saga. But hey, it's a starting point. I give it at least a 3.
To me, I feel like it's pretty decent visual. Like when you watch it, it almost feels like I was watching a little bit more like Transformer-ish graphics.
I hate Transformers.
Well, like that. Well, this is
Transformers does
like
suck.
you said, is a starting point. So like they could always improve the next movie.
Sure.
But this is a good good way of showing that like today, modern day time, we can make a Power Ranger look better like this without having to do like a corny one, like 80s looking way of doing it, like
Yeah.
bringing it to modern world. So I'd say 4 out of 5.
That opening scene in the car chase just hurt my eyes. I hated the camera angles for that. I agree with Fred, in the overall visuals, they could have made it cleaner in some areas, but God, that whole opening scene just immediately lowers the entire perspective of the visuals for me.
Oh wow.
It could have been higher, but because of that alone, it's going to be a 2.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm being nice. I want to give it a 1, but the rest of the visuals weren't that bad. So in the interest of fairness, it's going to be a 2.
All right.
Fair.
All right, then we're gonna hit story. And
On the story, I said like it built up to the point smoothly. Like they open in like the backstory of Zordon and Rita, and then like it slowly introduced the team, like introduced in their background, and all of a sudden like like okay, you see them like working towards being a Power Ranger, what it means to be a Power Ranger, what it means to be a hero. The element of the story fits the core of what Ranger is. So like, I feel like it hit every like aspect what Power Ranger should be. So I say 5 out of 5.
you ranking this movie a lot bigger than I.
You like this movie a lot more than us.
Yeah.
Personally, as far as the actual story goes, like I said, I really like how they built characters, but Rita was boring in the movie. Honestly, they didn't like they mentioned she betrayed the original Rangers and they did it for power. And to me, that's just such a generic villain type of thing.
Mm.
And granted, it's Power Rangers, it's a reboot. There's only so much they're going to do with it. How they changed it completely, would have angered a lot of fans. And I guess it was a little bit interesting. They used to make her a Ranger, but I think as good as their development was on their other characters, they failed with their villain. And like Gordon, he didn't really appear to the end. He didn't really seem like
So
Gordon.
you mean
Goldar.
Goldar.
Yeah, Goldar.
What I said, you
Goldon.
you made me think I messed up. But he didn't really seem like that threatening. I mean, he did, but by that point in the movie, I didn't care about him. I didn't care about Rita. So there were parts of it I liked, parts of it I didn't. I'll give it a 3.
For me, when it came to story, I love the build-up. I thought the build-up for each character was great. One of my big gripes was, one, the adults. They were cheesy as hell. You could feel like
you gotta expect that out of Power Rangers.
I know, but like seriously, you would, because some of the adults I've seen in other work, and they are actually pretty decent actors and actresses. So for them to come up like super cheesy, like, I was kind of disappointed with that. Like, so from some of the parents to even the cops in the film,
Yeah.
It was kind of bad. Like, but one of the gripes, another gripe I had was Goldar. They should have used the TV version of Goldar more, because he was such an iconic character. He was super funny, super witty. He was really interesting as a character. So for them to be able to use that instead of just that gold monster that they used,
That had no lines.
they had no. Oh man,
That was boring and generic.
it was kind of saddening. It was pretty disappointing. Rita, I understand why you said that she was kind of boring. I was actually fine with Rita because they showed that not only that she was a former Ranger, she was one of the strongest ones they actually had. She took down the rest of the team on her own with Goldar.
But a bunch of very new Rangers, just awakening their powers, were able to take her down. How powerful could she have been? Maybe she wasn't powerful, and all the rest of the Rangers.
I don't think she was at full power. That's why. That was one of the reasons why. Because remember, it was only 11 days, like 7 to 11 days from her awakening.
I see what you're saying. Like, if
That's
she
enough
reached
time.
her
That's
full,
11 years DBZ time.
if she reached her full
Yeah,
potential.
if she had reached her full potential, I think it would have been far different.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I could see their team having a better connection with one another than Zordon's old team.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Because I felt like their team just fell apart, especially after the Green Ranger betrayed the team. Their team fell apart, and that's why they lost. So that's how I.
Future prequels when they run out of ideas.
But all in all, I'll give it a 4 because of the character development. I was actually fine with the Rangers morphing up at the end of the film. I was fine with it because it was a transition. All right, we're gonna hit now how much we were entertained by the film.
Mike, you go first.
Sure. I gotta say, despite what I said about the story and the visuals, I was really entertained for most of the film. It had its funny moments that I enjoyed, but it also played the original theme song right before that epic battle. It showed the original pink and white Ranger, popping at the end. I love that. Just little moments like that just made me like, man, this was worth watching. So even though the movie fails in some other areas, like those 2 moments alone made it worth watching to me. I'll give it a 4 for just pure entertainment.
To me, I was actually really entertained. And I noticed lots of Easter eggs in there too, like the odds of homage. Like the moment where they first meet Zordon and then they left. That's a homage to the first episode.
Yeah.
I'd say 4.5 out of 5.
Alright. Entertainment wise, I loved it. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really enjoyable. One major gripe I forgot to talk about for the story. Broken Skull. What happened, man? You could have had Broken Skull.
No,
I know they're using that one bully as
no. Actually, the 2 girls in the beginning that were talking to Kimberly.
Yeah.
They're saying that they're the Broken Skull replacement.
No, I'm sorry. You Broken Skull's too you need them to be comedy wise. You need them to be able to do physical comedy. Like,
I wouldn't care that 2
if they
girls
were
were doing it, but it's the fact that they weren't funny.
Yeah, they were not funny. If they were funny,
I think they're trying to make it more like realistic.
They still had their funny moments. They could still put them in there and have them be funny with
Mhm.
it being realistic.
Because you got to remember, like Bulk and Skull, they start off as technically
They were
the
in
bad
more
guys.
Power
They
Ranger
were the
episodes
bullies.
than Power Rangers themselves.
And then they became more like Power Rangers without being able to morph.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been, what they could have done was at least like if they were going to do that, the girls answering her phone and hear like the Bulk and Skull theme song. That would have been a great homage to Bulk and Skull.
Or had them appear at the very end, like
Yeah, just like
crowd.
Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson appearing as a cameo.
That'd be interesting.
They could have been a cameo also.
Okay.
Like, but for me, I graded a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it, but there's just some gripes that I have. All right,
So overall, I'm giving it a 3.5. That's what my numbers average out to.
Yeah.
You know, it was a decent film. Probably wouldn't see it in theaters again. If it ever came out on like TV, I would watch it again.
I'd say 4.5 out of 5.
all right. I give it a 4. All right, let's talk about the Easter egg that they had happen at the end of the film. Tommy.
The best
Okay.
part of Power Rangers.
This is my prediction. I think the second movie will make him the main villain.
So you're going with a guy.
A guy, well, because like they're trying to do like the original version of the Green Ranger, how he was introduced. I bet he'll be the next villain they're gonna use before he becomes part of the sixth Ranger.
Hey, you want to know who the 4 best and most powerful Rangers were?
What?
First was Tommy as the White Ranger, then Tommy as the Green Ranger,
God.
then Tommy as the Black Ranger, and then Tommy as the Red
The
Ranger.
best cameo you could have for him be Tommy's parent.
Or make him Zordon, but you know.
Make,
No.
make
that's just-
Jason David Frank and Amy Jo
Kimberly
Johnson
is
as their parents.
As the parents of Tommy.
or if not Tommy, then Kimberly, because you haven't seen them yet.
True.
Yeah.
It
No.
could-
You do see.
That's the father.
You see the father. He was the one that came and picked her up.
Only for a short time though.
Yeah, like he's
Okay.
like that one little.
Actually, aren't they divorced though?
Ooh.
Kimberly's parents. In the original series, they were divorced.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, to answer your question, I would introduce him by him wielding the Zabazord to kill Rita. That's how I would do it. You know, I'm not a movie director, Fred. I don't claim to know the best way. I know it would be entertaining. There would be lots of explosions.
All right. The way I would have done is instead of going male, I would go female. And the way I would do it is I would actually make her a goth or emo. I would make her a much darker. She's more susceptible to becoming a bad guy. So when Rita comes back, she could actually.
Why the gender swap, Fred?
Because I felt like you can actually do that with Tommy.
I feel like Power Rangers. I understand gender swapping in movies, you know, when it's traditionally white and male and you want to throw some variety in, but since Power Rangers is actually pretty varied naturally, you know, before any reboots, you don't necessarily need to gender
The
swap.
other reason why I'm doing it that way is because Rita was actually the Green Ranger. She was a female.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, for the Green Ranger, it kind of makes more sense to make her a female, because in the original series, the Green Ranger they never gave the Green Rangers a gender until Tommy took on the mantle.
True, but
Well-
it never necessarily stated within the movie universe that the color corresponds to the gender. It's
It's-
assumed, but
Yeah.
it's not stated.
That's why I'm saying for the since it's a reimagining of the team, it's actually okay to go with
Okay, here's-
a female.
Here's my question: How do you think How do you think they will have him become the Green Ranger? Like, how do you think they're going to make him like?
So I think what's going to happen is that one day you're going to see most likely Tommy like she's going to be in the mountains, like maybe drawing or something like that,
Mhm.
minding her own business, and she's going to see the Rangers running around, like doing
and then
phenomenal
Rita,
stuff,
And then Rita appears
Mhm.
over.
and then they disappear into their and to go see Zordon. She's like, what the heck? And so she follows them. You find out she's actually still very athletic. She's and one thing I will keep from the original series, I want to make sure she's still Native American
Because
because that was a very important part
mind
of
you,
Tommy.
the green coin is with Zordon right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why she's gonna follow them to Zordon. The green coin's gonna react to her being there, because the green coin, the green coin chooses its wielder.
Do you think it will have like the evil spell on it?
So I think the corruption that's gonna be left on it, it's gonna corrupt her. Rita's gonna come back most likely with Lord Zed, and then they're gonna try to corrupt her as much as they can. And at first, those she's gonna butt heads with them. They're gonna fight, and then like something's gonna happen to like say her family gets attacked, and she realized that she can't go down this path because all the
Well,
that
Jason has to save her then too, because in the original,
So you would still keep that part. Jason would actually be like, "Do you really want to go down this path? Because look, even your family is getting hurt." And she's like, and deep down, she does love her family. So she actually is now, and so at the end,
so it'll break the evil spell.
yeah,
Okay.
that spell, but it would. So what happened is like she would still be corrupted, but by the end of it, when she gives back the coin, because she realized how corrupt the coin is,
Y'all already
Zordon's
will romance her back to the light side.
So Zordon's gonna realize that the coin's corrupt, and he's gonna they're gonna figure out a way to purify it, so that she can fully use the coin with no
with
no
the power of
restraints.
love. That's how they're gonna purify it. the
And then
power
that's
of
when
love.
she's gonna
Also,
rejoin.
it'd be awesome to see Dragon Zord again.
Yeah, and then like and that's another reason why she couldn't like you could say that that's why she couldn't call upon the Dragon Zord, is because
She had to be pure of heart.
yeah, she had to be pure of heart to call upon it.
Okay.
Because like she could attack the
Wow.
Rangers with like jump inside their Megazord and attack them all, but she couldn't call upon her own Megazord because the Megazord will only respond to a pure heart person. That's why you could say that. That's why Rita wasn't able to use her Megazord against the Rangers, and that's why she had to create Godar.
We'll see the flute again.
Folks,
All right, announcements, Fred.
all right. One, we got SuperCon Retro coming up next month, April 14th to the 16th. I will be attending, so if you want to see me, or I'm actually the only one out of the three that's going to be there.
We have
So-
a life.
Hey, it's my first con, all right? Screw you.
He's a virgin. A con virgin, to be specific.
Anyways, I will be there with the owner of House of Heroes. We're going to be checking out...
His name's Zach. He'll look like the dwarf.
really, dude? Come on, man. All right. Any other announcements?
War
Starting
Machine,
where-
it's going to be this week. It's a tabletop miniature game, as you can see some of them here. Come out and join us at House of Heroes, Naples, Florida.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us.
What if I say I'm not like the others? What if